Alright, I wanted to make this video to help anyone that is having issues with using their live account against the Bluesky API. It was suggested to me in the API Touchers group to use the local environment, and I actually didn't know everyone was doing that. So I'm going to step through exactly how you can set up your own local instance of Bluesky, of the app protocol, so that you can run API requests against it and not be like me where I was creating a bunch of requests. Actually, I think it's just one bad request that was corrupting my repo is what I think is happening. So I lost already 2 accounts and I want to help you avoid that. So the first thing you're going to want to do is clone in the repo. So you'll just go to github.com/bluesky-social/appproto and you'll just clone the repo in. So I'll do git clone, boop. And next you are going to go into that repo. So we'll go into appproto, and in here there's a make file, and the make file is what's going to help you get this local environment set up. But first you're going to want to yarn to install everything. So that'll just run really quickly. And it's worth noting that you should be using, so you use nvm use 18, so the version 18, to make sure that you're not on an older version of Node where this won't work. So if you do nvm install, I think it'll just pick it up. So that's an option. Here we go. Oh, actually the make file has an nvm process. So check that out. Look in the make file, and I'll go over that in just a second because we're going to need it. And right now it's building all the apps, and these are the packages inside of the repo that we just cloned. So yay, that looks pretty good. Now we'll go into the make file, and I can show you the commands we're going to run. So the command I'm going to run is run dev and env, and that spins up an environment for just a very simple interface so that you can run API requests against it, and we'll get into the API requests in just a second. But yeah, you can run bsky locally. I haven't done this one yet. You've got to set up like a development environment or an environment variable file. So yeah, this is that command nvm setup. So it'll do nvm install 18, nvm use 18, and then run the install command. Well, it'll install yarn and then run the install command. So yeah, so let's just go make what was it? Run dev env. So we're going to run that, and what that's going to do is spin up the server and help you get set up. Let's see. Cool. So that's done. Now I made a repo for using, I use Postman, that's what this is back here, to make all of my calls. So each one of these has the data set up for you, so you can just get started really quickly. And I put this repo here. I'll put this link at the bottom of the video so that you can set it up yourself. But you'll just import this JSON file into your Postman, and it'll just work. So the first thing I want to do when you've got your server running, you'll know it's running because it says it over here. You're going to want to create an invite code so that you can create your first user and then get into logging in and then create a post. So once you've imported these endpoints, you can go to the create invite code, and you'll see here that it's already set up for localhost, and we've got the create invite code endpoint. The default credentials for the dev environment in the appproto repo is username admin, password is password. So you can just click on this and click the send. In the body, it's going to tell it the count. So we'll send, and there we go. We got a brand new invite code. So you'll copy that invite code, and then you'll go into the create account endpoint, and then click on body. And in the body here is where you're going to put the invite code. So this one already has me set up. My handle is going to be antpb.test. Make sure you use .test because I think that's the only domain that's accepted. And then I've got my email address, my password. I'm just setting as password since this is a local environment, and then the invite code. if this works, then this here will change and have a good response. So let's try it. Hey, it looks like it worked. So now we've got the access JWT. This is the thing that, this is your session essentially. So you can copy that, but actually you're gonna need to refresh your session from time to time. So there's a login account option, and in the body, you've got your identifier, which is just my default test, and the password set up as password. And when you send that, you get a new JWT, and then that is good for, I believe it's 2 hours. So then you can copy that, and now you can create your first post. Before we do that, let's just make sure that I've got an empty feed, because I had some old data from when I had this spun up earlier, and I just want to see if it's still there. It probably isn't. So you're going to see right now it just yelled at me because authentication is required, and you'll notice bearer is empty. So after bearer, paste in that JWT, and then click the send, and you'll see that my feed is empty. So that's good. That's what I expected. Let's go ahead and create a post. Again, we're going to want to paste in the bearer, and let's make a post. In the body of this section is where you can write your post. So let's just say, woo, doing it live. And we'll send that. And it says authentication required. I thought I pasted that in. Let's try again. Yeah, that was right. Record. Oh, that's what I did wrong. So you'll see here, repo. Repo's not right. So I need to go to where I logged in, and there we go. The DID is your identifier for your account. So DID is what you want to set up for the repo value in this body. So now if I do it, woo, doing it live, yay, it worked. So now if we go to my author feed again, we'll click on this get, the bearer is all set, and we'll click, and you'll see there's that entry. So that now works, and we've got data that we can call, and we've got kind of the round trip of everything. So I'll show here what I've been working on with this WordPress plugin. So I'm working on a plugin that will take the post title, take the excerpt, which I've got some post excerpt here, and then the featured image. And so I'm going to convert this to a draft. And what this is going to do is it's going to fire off an event to post an embed. It's going to have a link facet, and it's going to have the title. So because I just set up this new account, I'm gonna have to log this site in. So this UI is really rough right now, but it's a start. So for the host, I just type in the host. The username is going to be antpv.test. Password was password, and I'll click the login, and that's now saved in the database securely. So it encrypts the password and username and only decrypts it on a request that I've very specifically defined in this PHP code. So we'll go ahead and go to a post that is a draft. And let me make sure that this post is actually going to post. Yeah, so here we've got a WP remote post, and this takes the post URL of whatever our host is. So I define the host as localhost. If you were doing this live, it would be the bsky.social URL. And yeah, so you'll set the record, you'll say the type is a post, and it has some facets. The facets are like the clickable links that are inside of the content. And then we've got the embed. So the embed data is what's really interesting. What I have here is I pull the attachment URL, and then I file get contents, and I make a request to the, let me make this bigger, to the upload blob. And what the upload blob does is it sends back a string for the link. And then when I'm setting the type or the embed thumbnail inside of this post request, I'm setting the type as blob, the ref as link, and the MIME type and the size are being passed from this function that I've written to hit the upload blob endpoint. So once that happens, it uses the credentials all on the server, so we're not exposing credentials client side, and it just supposedly works. So let's find out. So I'm going to click the publish button now, and we'll see what happens. Nothing errored, so that's good. Now let's go to our author feed and do a get request to see what's new. And you'll see there it is. Yay! So some post title, there's some post title. It's got the type of a post. And then inside of here, you see that the link is this hash, and that hash is actually mapped to this embed data. So here we have the, if it all worked, we're going to see the cutest cat ever if I copy and paste this into my browser. So that hash links up to this data, which gives you the thumb. So let's see. I'll paste that in, we'll hit enter, and yeah. So there we got localhost serving the image that was uploaded in that blob and then sent back as a post in my timeline or my skyline. So yeah, this kind of works. I don't know if it works in prod though, because in my testing I've got 2 accounts that burned, so I'm about to test this on prod and see if it works. Actually, it'd be kind of fun to just do that right now. Let's just do it. I'm going to take this off screen and enter my credentials for live Bluesky. So let's see if that works. Boop. All right, so I've got this test account that I've been doing things with. I just saved the credentials, so let's go back to that post, and I'm going to unpublish it. So bring it back up here. Switch to draft. Okay. I'm actually kind of scared this won't work, but let's do it. Publish. Okay. Let's go staging.bsky. Let's go to my profile. Oh my gosh, it worked. This is the first time it's ever worked. Yo. Okay, that's good stuff. And I did it live. So there we go. Hell yeah.